start showing you some stuff. So the first thing I like to do in the morning when I'm going out for bass is throw some topwater bait. So I've got a couple of topwater lures here that you can take a look at. First, we have a buzz bait. We have the Guggen Squad Hummer buzz bait here. It's in the black and blue color, 3/8 ounce. Just pretty great. Run of the mill. It's 2-blade. Does not have the clacker. I usually don't like fishing the clacker personally. I like to go for the buzz baits that don't have the clacker. For some reason, I just feel like I get a lot more hits with this style of buzz bait than the clacking style. So it's got some holes in there, as you can see, which help make a little bubble trail behind your buzz bait as you're retrieving it. So good bait here, buzz bait. And the other one that I would highly recommend is the headbanger here. So as you can see, it's jointed and it's got this little lip here. So it's almost like a combination between a jointed crankbait, a popper, and a spook. So it's, like I said, it's a topwater bait, and it goes along the surface of the water. And a lot of beginner fishermen, I know you don't seem like a beginner fisherman, but a lot of people, it's angle dependent too, what angle you're casting at, but they have a hard time walking the dog, bringing in a spook. So what this does is allows you to steadily retrieve the bait, and it does all of the action for you. So instead of you having to really like have the finesse and feel of twitching the spook to bring it along and walk the dog, this will just kind of snake along the surface of the water, and it actually does a great job. I've caught some huge fish on this lure right here. So would you be interested in either of these, the buzzbait or the headbanger? Buzzbait. Okay, cool. So I'll put that to the side. I'll put the headbanger away, and we can move on. So next, let's go with some soft plastic action here. First, we have the Bass Reaper drop shot worms in a nice, like, kind of green and brown color here. Give it a better look. Just see they kind of have like the flat tail on the back there. I've had a decent amount of success with these. So I'll tie on some of these octopus hooks, or one of these octopus hooks, and then put a drop shot weight on the bottom, and then just hook one of these to fish it. I like fishing this in rocks, this rig in rocks, hard bottom usually, and also if there's like some really shallow weeds, or kind of close to the bottom, you can fish above the weeds with this rig, so that's pretty good. Also, with the octopus hooks, we have the Yamamoto baits Senkos in a baby bass color, as you can see there. These are the 4-inch Senkos, which I prefer. I feel like I've never had a problem catching larger fish on like the 4 inches, but the 5 inches, I feel like the catch rate for smaller, like 1 to 2 pound bass, is not as high for the 5 inch. So I tend to go with the 4 inch. They lack a little bit of the action because they don't have quite as much length to kind of droop down as they're falling. But I feel like just the ability to catch more fish is why I go with the 4 inches, as well as I feel like they're more durable. I feel like I can get like 4 to 5 fish per worm on these, whereas it's like 2 to 3 fish for a 5 inch. So I would definitely recommend going with these. Then we have the Lake Fork Hyper Freaks. So I'll actually take these out for you so you can see. They're kind of hard to see in the bag there, but here we have that. As you can see, it's kind of a watermelon. It's got the black flecks in there as well as some purple and green flecks, so those will definitely catch some light in the water there. And these are a very versatile bait. Just like the drop shot worms, you can fish these on a drop shot rig. You can Texas rig these, fish them weightless, take Texas rig with a bullet weight. You can use these as jig trailers. You can Carolina rig them. Like, really, the possibilities are endless with this bait. Highly versatile. So, I bought some pretty big ones, just Texas rigging these. So, I would definitely check these out if I were you. So, between those three baits, does anything kind of stand out to you? Okay, go with the Hyper Freaks and the Senkos. Okay, great choice, great choice. Can never go wrong with the Senko. I'll put these back. Did you want the octopus hooks too? Throw them in. Okay, cool. Alright, alright. So, are you in need of some crankbaits? Okay, cool. So, let's, I got a couple to show you here. We can start out with the trusty square bill here. This is the Jenko Fishing. It says CD2 or CD squared. A pretty simple square bill. You can see the kind of holographic coloring there. Got the yellow, got the purple on the back. Definitely going for kind of like a bluegill profile and bluegill colorway here. And these will dive down to like 2 to 4 feet usually. So I love ripping these along shorelines. Yeah, can't go wrong with the square bill. And here we have a little bit deeper diving one. We have the Jabberjaw here, and as you can see, the bill on this one is a little bit longer, so this will go down. It says on the package here, 7 to 9 feet. So if you have suspended fish a little bit deeper, it's kind of like the same presentation as the square bill, same kind of action, same profile as you can see. But this just gets a little bit deeper, and this has a nice like kind of green and yellow color variation. Does it say the name of the color on here? Let's see. No, it does not, but green and yellow. We'll call it the Packer colorway. So, I've caught a lot of fish on this one actually. This specific one in this specific color pattern. I've caught plenty of fish on this, so definitely recommend that. Next, we have the Rapala Shad Wrap. So this is more of like a suspending kind of jerk bait style. Well, actually, this one isn't suspending. This one is floating, but still kind of like a more of a jerk bait style of crankbait. So this one you can reel it down to whatever level. These ones do get a lot deeper, so maybe like 10 feet. Reel it down, and you can let it like pause the retrieve, let it float up, and then continue. You can pop it a couple times, jerk it. You can do steady retrieve. Lots of different ways to fish this. I like the versatility. Caught a lot of fish on this. You can catch all different species of fish on this actually. Just the other weekend I was catching a lot of walleyes on this exact lure. Fire tiger pattern, classic color pattern. I don't know if there's any kind of crankbaits that are as tried and true as the Rapalas here. The Rapala original floater obviously, but we already have some shallow baits here, so this is a little bit better for you, but definitely I would recommend picking this out, especially if you're not going for like tournament bass. If you're just going out to catch fish, you never know what you're going to catch on this, so great lure there. And last but not least, on the crankbaits, we have the lipless here. This is the Ima lipless crankbait, Japanese, so made in Japan. They're kind of crazy about fishing there. A lot of people don't know that, but lots of fishing in Japan, big time kind of fishing culture. So they know what they're doing, and when it comes to this bait, that is definitely true. As you can see, the pattern on there, like the pearlescent finish. You have the detailed scales, the eye. These hooks are ultra sharp too. I've fished with these a decent amount. Never miss a hook up on these. And you hear that rattle in there? Gotta have the rattle on a lipless. And I like the versatility of these two. You can kind of jig it up, vertical jig it below your boat. You can kind of rip it up, let it fall down. These fall down kind of like a Senko does. Rip it up, fall down. My favorite way to fish these though is burning them over like some like some weeds that almost come up to the surface but not quite. Ripping it right under the surface. It's fast reel, like as fast as possible without pulling it out of the water. Great way to catch fish, especially if you're not having success with, you know, kind of other methods. Sometimes you gotta go for the reaction strike and just burn the lipless right over them. So definitely I would recommend checking this thing out. So out of those four, anything you want, anything you don't want. You want the square bill and the lipless. Alright, cool. I'll throw those in the bag for you. And get rid of these guys. Alright, what do we want next? So here's a good one. We have the Guggen clickbait. So these are really good. I've had a lot of success fishing bladed jigs. Red is actually a color that I really like to throw when it comes to bladed jigs. I feel like it kind of, especially when you're fishing lower in the water column, you can have it kind of imitate a crawfish, like a craw pattern. And I mean, yeah, I feel like I say a lot of these are very versatile, but this definitely is as well. In the same way as the lipless, you can fish it the exact same ways as the lipless. You can kind of rip it up, let it fall down, steady retrieve, slow, medium, or fast burn it. Really good hooks on these as well. Good sized hooks. They're sharp, black nickel plated. Yeah, really good bait there. And then for another kind of searching style bait, we have the Booyah Pond Magic spinnerbait. So this, as you can clearly see, is a little bit smaller than the standard size of spinnerbait. I actually like that, especially when I'm fishing in ponds or something like that. And the size of fish may not be like the size that you want, or you're kind of like searching for fish, you haven't caught anything, and you're really just trying to like pattern some fish, figure out where any bass are. This is a great lure to throw. You can cover a lot of water, fish it anywhere. You can fish it low, fish it high in the water column, or in between, anywhere you want. And yeah, just cover a lot of water, figure out where the fish are. Then you can, once you do that, kind of go to the more finesse styles and kind of work from there. But yeah, definitely I would check this out. So, oh, you definitely want the clickbait. All right, cool. And you have plenty of spinnerbaits. I do too. So put that one aside. All right, now for some. Actually, let's look at these. The Guggen Saucy Swimmers here. So these are good Texas rigged. These are good as trailers. So for your buzz bait there, for that clickbait, these would definitely make a very good trailer. Add a little bit of action, add a little bit of like enticing action. So if the fish is kind of like on the fence, sees that wiggle and tail behind there, he's like, I'm gonna eat that. So I almost always put trailers on my spinner baits, on my blade baits, on all my swim jigs, everything like that. I just feel like, why not have the extra little bit of action, which makes a difference a lot. So no, you're good on these. Okay. Yeah, no worries. In the same kind of realm, we have the 1,000 Fish Sushi bugs here. These are in a black with blue fleck color pattern. And I really like these because you can kind of like customize these. So you can see like the central kind of vein down the middle. You can cut off the fins and all the extra stuff and just have it be like the one kind of like noodle there. Or you can cut off that central part and just have it be a little bit shorter and have these legs coming off. And you can have these be trailers. You can Texas rig them weightless or without a weight, so they can be like a creature bait, trailer, really whatever you kind of want. Any interest in these? Okay, cool. I'll throw them in. Alright, now fish baits. We have the Savage Gear swim baits here, and I really like these. There's clearly 3 of them. This is the 4-inch variant, and I mean, look at the detail on these. Definitely very realistic bait fish. They have the scales on the sides. Got the eyeball there, the realistic 3D eye. And what I like about these is you can see that little eyelet below there. They come with only one hook already attached to them, like the one main hook. But if you're getting short strikes, you're getting a lot of fish like nipping at the tail. Then you can add like a stinger hook here. You can add just a treble hook on the bottom, or a stinger hook that kind of goes back towards the tail a little bit more. And that will definitely increase your hookup ratio. You don't want to do that when you're fishing in the weeds, because that's just going to do nothing but get snagged up in all the weeds. And if you're fishing down by like logs and stuff, obviously you wouldn't want to do that either. But if you're fishing kind of open water, or maybe like a sandy or rocky bottom, and you're not as worried about getting snags, I would recommend throwing some trailer hooks on these to increase your hookup rate. If the fish are, maybe it's post cold front, the fish are lethargic, they're not super active, they're not slamming baits the way you would want them to, definitely throw a stinger on there. Catch the fish that, catch all the fish that you're able to. If they're feeling lethargic and slow, here we have another kind of swim bait style of lure. The last one was kind of like a shad imitation, and this very clearly is a bluegill imitation. I've tossed this a lot, and to be honest, I haven't caught anything on it. So, if you want to try, I mean, it's a very cool looking bait, but, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. They pay us to show all the customers this bait. They're really trying to push it, but I wouldn't. So I'm just gonna toss that over here, and we're not gonna talk about it. Okay, cool. But do you want these, or you want to pass on these? Okay, yeah. I'm not a big swim bait guy either. Definitely, like if I'm feeling like I want to catch, or like go out of the ordinary, kind of mix it up a little bit, or try to catch some bigger fish, maybe I'll throw some swim baits. But I'm with you. I'm not a huge swim bait guy. I'm not huge on the swim baits. What I am huge on, the old tried and true spinner, the inline spinner. Cannot go wrong. I don't think there's as universally successful of a bait style as the inline spinner here. Like any species, whether it's trout, salmon, walleye, crappie, largemouth, smallmouth, rock bass. I mean, size up, size down, you can catch anything with these. They're just the best, and easy. Like if you're taking kids out with you, tie one of these on, don't cast and reel it in. It's literally as simple as that, and it produces so well. It's almost like a cheat code, especially fishing in rivers and stuff. Like very, very well. I mean, I'm sure you know that. But what I have seen for the first time here, and what you may have never seen before, is a rattling spinner. So I've actually never tried these, but as you can see, like the central cavity there has some rattles in it to add a little bit of extra noise and vibration to this as you're bringing it in. Now, I can't speak as to whether that is, good or bad, whether it brings in more fish, whether it even makes a difference, but, I mean, who knows? You're very welcome to, check it out, give it a try. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw this in for free, as long as you promise to report back whether or not this catches fish and at what rate, because I'm actually very curious. So I'm just going to toss that in your bag, free of charge, don't even worry about it. And then, do you want this spinner as well? For sure, yeah. I lose a lot of spinners too, yeah. It's a problem, but hey, when you fish it a lot, you gotta go where the fish are, and that's near snag, so can't really get around that. And last but not least, for the bass lures, we have a couple of jigs here. So we have jig here. That's in a blue and orange color pattern. Definitely like a bluegill imitation. And as you can see, what I like about these ones is they have that little bit of like reflective tinsel there. Definitely like a nice little touch on a sunny day, just because that gives it that tiny little bit of extra shine that could catch a fish's eye, bring it in. And I would fish these with the trailers that I showed earlier. But I mean, you said you have trailers, so I usually almost always throw trailers on my grass jigs, my swim jigs, and this is a 1/4 ounce, so definitely a good one there. And then for the more traditional, we have a flippin' jig here in like a brown color, so definitely a traditional kind of jig here. Just bounce it along the bottom, throw a trailer on there, grate your bait, jig and pig, whatever you feel like. But it's got that nice kind of flat head there, so it'll sit down on the bottom and not really get hung up very well. Yeah, so you want either, both, neither? Both. Okay, cool. Yeah, I get a lot of jigs snagged too. I feel you on that. So you should be pretty well set up for bass stuff there. You want to move on to crappie stuff? Alright. So, all that bass stuff for crappies, I feel like, I mean, the expanse of the type of stuff that I fish for crappies is a lot smaller. So you already have the spinner there, which is a bait that I would use for crappies, but in terms of crappie specific, first and foremost, you gotta have the jig heads, man. I got 1/32, 1/16 ounce jig heads here. I mean, whether you're fishing live bait, throwing minnows out, or fishing small plastics, you gotta have these. And like, they go fast. Plus, I mean, I used to buy a lot of like lower quality, non-bladed or anything, just the cheap jig heads, and they always get rusty on me, so I always feel like I gotta re-up on these. So you need some jig heads. Of course, yeah. Now on the jig heads, I've had a lot of success recently with these double tail little plastics here. So I'll take one out for you. Boom. So you got the orange on top, blue on the bottom, chartreuse double tail here. And these have so much action in the water. Like, I'm holding still right now, and it's still bouncing like a decent amount. So even if you're fishing these below a bobber, which is my favorite way to fish them, just the slightest little ripple on the surface of the water is gonna have these tails going crazy. And you got the double the tails, that means double the action in most cases, unless they get snagged up like they are right here. But in the water, that's not really an issue. I've not really had a problem with these switching up in the water, so or sticking up in the water rather. So definitely would recommend picking these out. I fished like the standard little baby shads my entire life for crappies, switched to these, and it just made a world of difference for me. So definitely check these out. And I'll go ahead and show you my favorite way to fish for crappies with these, and I guess just baby shad style lures in general, is you take the 1/32 ounce jig head, Palomar knot that, leave the tag end, and then you take the 1/16 ounce jig head, tie that on standard like clinch knot or whatever, and then you take one of these rattling pair bobbers. These have a really nice rattle to them, more so than almost any other like fishing bait or lure that I've ever used. Like, these rattle like crazy, and it kind of drives me crazy when I'm driving in the car on the way to the fishing spot, and one of these is on the line, and every bump it's just rattling. So I always take these off in transit and only put them on once I get to the fishing location, or else they will drive me insane. But what they also do is drive the fish insane. Any fish in the area, they like panfish specifically, it seems like they're just crazy under the water. Like, just an all-in-one package that really drives panfish, bluegills, crappies, perch, like insane. So, so you said you wanted the jig heads. You interested in these double tails and bobbers? Okay, cool. Then the last bait that I have. You said your name is Jack, right? Well, look what I have for you. The magic bean. Imagine pulling up to the lake as Jack with your magic bean. I mean, that sounds like a story that's going to write itself. We have Jack in the magic beanstalk. He bought his magic beans, and it turned out to be the best thing he ever did. Buying this lure might be the best thing you ever did. I mean, look, you got the spinner there, the red hook, you got the white, kind of cream color. Look at the eye. Look at that beautiful eye. Oh, you can't even see it. Yeah, dude, look at that. Money lure right here. I guarantee you will catch so many more fish on this than almost anything else. Toss the magic bean. You know what? I'm not even gonna allow you to make a decision. I'm throwing this one in for free too. Dropping stuff over there. It's okay though. Yeah, dude. Trust me, you're gonna catch plenty of fish on the magic bean. So that's all that I have in terms of fishing tackle, in terms of fishing lures. One thing I would recommend, do you have a pair of polarized sunglasses? No. Ooh. Okay, let me put you on here. So, the idea with polarized sunglasses, right? So you got the sun, the photons are coming in from the sun, they're bouncing off the water, and once they bounce off the water, when they come back to you, the only photons that come to you are the ones that are in line with you because they're bouncing off the water. Like the ones that are going whatever else way, they all go like disperse when they hit the water. But the ones that come back at you, they're all lined up. The idea with polarized sunglasses is they have kind of on like a small scale, like molecular level, they have slits that allow in light from or block light rather from one dimension. So vertically, they're aligned vertically, and any photons that are coming in vertically aligned, it completely cuts out. And what that means is that all the reflection on the surface of the water is completely cut out, so you can see directly into the water. So a lot of times on a sunny day, you cannot see into the water because of all the reflection. Toss some polarized sunglasses on, and you can see everything. All right. Now let me tell you, you pull up to the lake wearing these bad boys, it's game over for the fish. You see, there are going to be other fishermen that look at you, and they're going to think, this guy showed up on a business trip. This guy knows what he's doing. All the other fishermen are going to be like, I'm going to do whatever this guy's doing. Then you might have a problem where everybody's coming up on you, asking you, what lure are you using? This and that. Because they can tell how elite of a fisherman you are because of these elite polarized sunglasses. So, you interested? Yeah, that might lead to more success than any individual lure that we have here. I've caught so many fish, peering in with my polarized sunglasses and seeing a fish there that I never would have seen without them. So, definitely a good move getting those. And then, last but not least, we have the trout lamp. Alright, have you ever been late at night, the power goes out, you're trying to fish in the morning and you have some rigs to tie? Wait, no, that wouldn't apply. Anyways, if it's late at night and you don't want all the lights on, maybe your wife is sleeping, maybe you don't want to wake the kids up, you just need a little bit of light. Boom, trout lamp comes in clutch, and it's not plugged in, that's why it didn't turn on, but it does turn on, I promise you. And, I mean, look, you got the flies on the side here, you got the trout here, it rotates. 360-degree trout rotation. You don't get that with a lot of trout lamps nowadays. That is a great feature, highly utilizable. You might have this displayed in one corner of the room and you move it to the other corner base, sturdy base. Great colors, green and yellow. Fisherman colors, cabin colors. Throw this in the cabin. Throw this in the man cave. I mean, it could really go anywhere. You want the trout lamp? All right, that's okay. Somebody else will want it. All right. Well, that's about all I had to show you. Is there anything else that you were kind of hoping to see, or anything else that you see just on the in the aisles on the racks that you want? All right. Cool. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming in. I'll get all this bagged up for you. And yeah, thank you for coming into Erik's Tackle Shop. Please leave us a Google review, 5 stars for excellent service and excellent lures. And good luck. I hope you catch a lot of fish with all these lures. I guarantee you will. And you'll have to come in sometime in the future and tell me how all those lures did for you. Specifically the magic bean and the rattling spinner. I'd love to see how those go. So thanks for coming in, and you have a great day. Alright, peace. Hey guys, just wanted to say thank you for watching all the way through. For those of you who are still here, big milestone, we just hit 400 subscribers, so I just wanted to say thank you very much for everybody who has subscribed, liked, commented, shown your support, or even just viewed my videos all the way through like you have. Clearly, it means a lot, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And as you guys have seen on my channel, I've been posting a lot more shorts recently just because I've been fishing a lot and spending a lot of time fishing, but we're coming into hunting season right now, so I'm going to have definitely a shift in focus between, or from fishing to hunting, so I will have maybe a little bit less shorts coming out in the future, but that does mean that I'll have more of this style of just sitting in front of a camera video coming up. So if you guys prefer these over like the shorts and the outdoor ones, you're in luck, because more of these are going to be coming. But yeah, I just wanted to